All right. Welcome in. I got some AFC North rivalry action here as the Browns head to Steeler country to take on these Pittsburgh Steelers in a big rivalry matchup here on Nagy on Sports. Kit Nagy here with you. I'm going to be doing this one solo as Phil is a little bit busy here today, so he needs to spend some time with the wife and do some other things. But I will be calling this game for everyone here and just trying to keep the channel going with more content. So we elected to bring this one to you solo here from California, as Phil is going to be running the PlayStation and then potentially in the chat with us as well, somewhat through this game. But he'll be getting us going, and then we'll bring this one to you live here from Nagy on Sports. Welcome in, John. Excited to have, or actually Mitchell. Yeah, that's right. You're the one that likes to go by your last name. I think I have a hard time keeping that straight, but welcome in anyway. Nonetheless, here we go with the Browns going to kick off in the opening kickoff here. Hey, welcome in, Chris G. And that one will go through the back of the end zone. So the Steelers are going to have the ball, and Kenny Pickett's coming out. Not a lot of changes to their roster here. They are relatively similar to how they were last season. A couple of shakeups. Big one in free agency being Bush walked, so he is no longer a Steeler. But many of the offensive names are the same as you expect. Picked up a new receiver in the draft. Little blitz on first down, but over the middle, Kenny Pickett accurate. Able to pick up 16 yards there on a strike across the middle. That one goes to Johnson. And a first down. JOK on coverage and a tackle. Another look there is just really a matchup game as they were trying to take advantage of the matchup there against JOK. And Johnson does beat him to the inside, and a nice strike there from Kenny Pickett to pick up the first down. 1st and 10 now, a little tight bunch formation out to the left under center. Has the snap, 4-man rush, and throws out to the outside. And another first down, early moving the chains here. All of their work so far on first down as they have been productive in the pass game in the early goings of this one. And yes, Phil mentions Pittsburgh here is 5-1. They've been very good as Johnson picks up his second reception. Now the first run for Najee Harris. A big gashing hole out to the left side. Lots of room for him to work. And he continues the first down on first down trend as yet again double digits in the pickups here as about 15 more yards. They've been anywhere between 12 and 16 yards on each of their first 3 plays from scrimmage. 2 passes and a run, 1st and 10. Back to pass, 3-man rush, and now unloading downfield, back in the end zone, caught for the touchdown, just climbing the ladder, and George Pickens makes an incredible catch out there. What a throw. Kenny Pickett hits George Pickens for a touchdown. Good coverage, but climbing the ladder, making a very nice contested catch in the back of the end zone. And the Steelers strike first. They didn't see a single second down in that entire drive. 4 plays for 75 yards and a touchdown. That was impressive. There it is, 4 plays, 76 yards. It should have been 75. I don't know how they started on the 24. Went through the back of the end zone, so I don't know what's up with that stat there, Madden, but that's not right. So, an early 7-zip lead for the Steelers, and we'll see how the Browns respond here. This is going to be an important drive to kind of set the tone on offense after that very early, very productive drive for the Steelers. Not a single second down in it. Yeah, Mitchell, absolutely. It seems like we're getting maddened already. That was rough. But then again, keep in mind, these Steelers are 5-1, and the Browns, meanwhile, have struggled and are at 3-3. Hey, welcome in 504. Go Browns. All right, Sean out of the gun, 2 running backs either side, and he's going to hand it off there. That's the rookie running back Spears with the carry, 3 yards on the pickup, 2nd and 7. Little fake to Nick Chubb out to the outside. He's got Spears out of the backfield on a little flat route. That'll pick up a number of yards there, bring up a 3rd and inches just short, 6 yards on that reception. Trips to the right, brings 1 in motion to a tight bunch. Back to pass, 4-man rush. He should have taken off because that one was nearly picked. He had the easy first down. He just needed to take about a step or 2, and he was across the line. But instead, a risky throw across the formation as this punt is going to trickle into the end zone and be a touchback. Not a productive first drive for the Browns as they go 3 and out. And the inexplicable choice from Watson to try to convert a bad pass across the formation when he should have just ran, and he easily had that first down. Now Kenny Pickett hands it off to Najee Harris for a few yards. That's going to be their first 2nd down of the ball game, 2nd and 7, as Najee only picks up 3 on that carry. From under center, now scrambling and being chased, just elects to throw it out of bounds, does Kenny Pickett. That is his first incompletion of the ball game, and a 3rd down, the first one for the Steelers in this game, 3rd and 7. 4-man rush pressure coming, setting up a screen, and Najee Harris has it, but he's going to be tackled well short of the line to gain. Really impressive effort there from MJ Emerson, who forced his way through a blocker to make a tackle here. We're going to get a good look at it. This was really nice. Look at him force his way up, past the blocker, through the block, into Najee Harris, and bring him down well short of the line to gain. That was a very physical play from MJ Emerson to set up this 4th down punt on 4th and 4. And after the success of the first drive, a 3 and out on the second drive feels like a huge win for the Browns, keeping the score at 7-0. So Watson's going to come back out here after his poor choice. Hopefully he'll do a little better here in this second drive for the Browns. From under center, single back. Throws out to the outside, got it complete to Njoku, and he's going to pick up 8, 2nd and 2. 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter, and a lot of momentum going Steelers' way. Now Nick Chubb with his first carry of the ball game, and it's a good one as he found a nice hole out to the outside and picked up 9 yards and a first down, the first one for these Browns in this game. Yeah, that was wild, 504. I don't think I've ever seen that either. That was like incredibly proficient and effective, that first drive for the Steelers, as they just, chunk play after chunk play. It was, 12 yards, 15 yards, 16 yards, and then like a big bomb down for a touchdown. Completed 75 yards in 4 plays and not a single second down. That was crazy first drive. 1st and 10 now. Fake the handoff. Now then a little sweep to the outside. Cooper. Oh, and he fumbles the ball. The Steelers have it, and the first turnover of the ball game goes against the Browns. And the maddening early at work as Fitzpatrick recovers the ball, and that was, oh man, that is not what you want to see happen there. As Cooper just had it jarred loose, he had a bunch of tacklers around him, and somebody got his hand in there and knocked it out. A nice little punch from the defense jars it loose. And instead, we end up with a Steelers ball at midfield here, 1st and 10. And Phil doesn't like it, nor should he. Najee Harris with the carry there. He's already up to 24 yards on his 3 carries. That one for 5, 2nd and 5. Welcome in, George. Go Browns. Back to pass, 4-man rush over to the right side. He's got Johnson out there. Kenny Pickett now for 5 of 6 for 79 yards and a touchdown. He's been very good in the early goings of this game. Yeah, I agree, Mitchell. It's been pretty rough so far for these Browns in this game as the Steelers are really just having their way. Hey, Karen, I missed you, but welcome in. Go Browns and Cavs and Guardians. 1st and 10 out of the gun is Kenny Pickett. Najee Harris on the right hip. Back to pass, 4-man rush. He throws over the middle. He's got Najee Harris in the outlet, and he's going to pick up 8 there. 2nd and 2 upcoming. Now from under center, faking the handoff to Najee Harris, surveying, pressure in his face, and he just elects to throw that one out of bounds. His 2nd incompletion of the ball game, 3rd and 2. Fake another handoff to Najee Harris, but throws it to the flat to him, and that's going to pick up an easy 1st down as nobody came to pick him up out of the backfield, and he had lots of room to work with and an easy conversion. Yeah, pick 6 here would be great. 5:04, definitely something that would hopefully, turn the momentum, which is needed right now as the Steelers are driving very effectively again. And now easily in the red zone from the 12 with an opportunity to pick up yet another 1st down before having to punch it in. 1st and 10. Flag coming. Looks like a hold as Najee Harris is going to get the completion. But I think this one's going to come back. Indeed, it is holding against the offense. And they're going to back up that one on Harrison. So they're going to back that one up 10. 1st and 20 from the 22 now. Yeah, it's, I agree, 5:04. It's been a bit rough of late. Feels like there's been an awful lot of maddening going on. Not sure why, but it has not been pretty at times. 2nd and 14 here. Pressure coming, and that, really the first errant throw of the ball game for Kenny Pickett just missed. I think the pressure affected his throw as his throwing window had closed. Pressure coming on a little blitz. That one is going to go incomplete just over the outstretched hands of his receiver. I believe that was Johnson. 4th and 14 will bring out the kicker for the field goal chip shot attempt. And that is going to make it a 10-0 ball game as Boswell puts it right through. So the Steelers will kick it off here. That goes down to recovered at the 5. A nice little move there out to the outside as the rookie receiver and special teams weapon. He's been on the on that kick return all year. He's had some moments. Looked like he's got some juice back there. So that one certainly had some opportunities. He made one man miss at least. And here's Nick Chubb just running folks over, refusing to be tackled. Nice run from him. Let's get him going. That's a big part of the Browns' offense and what they want to do. If he can get amped up in this one and running hard, we could have a good end of this half. If we can get him going here soon. Another handoff to Nick Chubb up the middle. He's got some room. He's going to shake a few more tacklers. His 3rd carry now 27 yards. A nice 1st down picked up there. Hey, welcome in, Terry. Phil is in the chat today, but he is spending time with his wife and a little busy. But we wanted to make sure that we got a Browns game to Nagy Nation, as it's been a little while since we had gotten around to one. So I'm calling this one solo. And Phil is at the controls of the PlayStation. Well, he's going down to the PlayStation occasionally to skip like halftime and then end the game, as he got us kicked off at the beginning, but he will not be joining the call on this one. It'll just be me. 2nd and 8. I'll hand off to Nick Chubb. Lots of room to work with. He's down to the 2nd level, and there he is tackled. It's a nice, explosive run from Nick Chubb, and that was exactly what these Browns have needed here, as he got past that first line of defenders very quickly, hit the hole nicely, and nice blocking up front as well to get to the 2nd level, and he took advantage of that hole quickly. Appreciate that, Terry. Out of the gun. Fake the handoff to Spears over the middle. He's got his man. I didn't catch who that was. That may have been Cooper on the reception. It was Cooper. His first reception of the ball game, 6 yards, 2nd and 4. Now I'll hand off to Spears. and he is going to be tackled very quickly. 3rd and 5 coming. Yeah, very happy to do this. You know, sometimes with our schedule, sometimes I can't be on, other times Phil can't. But we do try to coordinate to bring as much content as we can because we want to keep it going. So at times just one of us is able to be on a call, but we do our very best to bring content whenever we can. So Nick Chubb now is going to be tackled for a loss of 1. Cameron Hayward in on that tackle, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. A little draw did not work as the ever stalwart Hayward read that very quickly and shed his blocker and made short work of Nick Chubb, as now Cade York is going to come out and attempt a 56-yarder. That one is up and it's good. So Cade York delivers from 56 to put the Browns on the board for the first time, now 10-3. Yeah, I didn't catch it. I looked away. I did not see the drop snap. Hey, welcome in, Wendell. So, 2:24 in the first quarter. Still a lot of momentum on the Steelers' side as they have been so far the better team in this contest. But that last drive at least had glimmers of success, and getting Nick Chubb going is a big part of that success. Najee Harris with the handoff. He is going to be tackled relatively quickly, only a pickup of 2. His 5th carry of the ball game, now with 32 yards. Out of the gun, trips to the left. He's going to unload over the middle. He's got Najee Harris, who breaks a few tacklers, and they're still trying to get him down. Finally do bring him to the ground. But a lot of yards gained on that quick little strike out of the backfield, and nobody's been picking up Najee Harris out of the backfield. He's been very dangerous in this pass game so far, and Browns need to make that adjustment. As you see him on that little angle route, the Browns were kind of in a zone with the linebackers deep. JOK tried to make a tackle but kind of missed, and so you need to be aware of that, as that has been very successful for the Steelers. Probably want to start having somebody pick him up coming out of the backfield and maybe cover him a bit. Now a handoff to Najee Harris again. Fumble, ball's out, and the Browns have it. And just like that, the Browns are going to take their first turnover of the ball game. And that one comes at a huge moment as Najee Harris fumbles, and you can see the ball is out before he hits the ground. He was falling, but his knee is not down, the butt is not down, and the ball is out. And sure enough, the Browns are going to get the ball here, and that is a huge turnover and a big turn of events. The Browns with their best field position to start a drive of the day, and this a very important one to take advantage of. Bringing the man in motion, the little pop pass to Cooper. He's gotten through a tackler and gets about 8 yards. Nice little play there. I'd call it 9 on the pickup. A single back now from under center is Watson. Fakes it to Chubb, just avoids the pressure, and then throws it all the way down to Cooper. What a beautiful play, just avoiding the pressure. He actually made the boot action work to his advantage, avoids that would-be rusher, gets just outside, find Cooper downfield, and finally Madden does it right. That's more like what it should look like, and the elusiveness of Watson in the backfield is just an ugly, ugly drop follows it. Just a complete layup that he should have had. I don't know how he dropped that, but it was right in his hands, and a concentration drop from the Chief. 2nd and 10, as that is going to be the end of the first quarter, and they're going to flip the field. Trips to the left, and Felton with his first fault. Oh man, a fumble, but Bitonio right there. Felton with his first carry fumbles, picks up 2, but Bitonio saves him, bails him out. 3rd and 8 over the middle. He's got Cooper over the middle there, and he's going to pick up that first down. Now 1st and goal for the Browns from the 3, and we really need them to punch it in here. This could be a huge momentum swing. They score this touchdown, and it's a fresh ball game, and hopefully that'll be enough to get all phases of the Browns team going here, because they really need it. First and goal, I formation. All the hog mollies out there. Little handoff to Nick Chubb. He's fighting through some traffic and just not able to go much of anywhere there. In fact, he goes back a yard as that defense had that hole plugged up early. Joseph in on the tackle. So, 2nd and goal from the 4. Now trips formation to left. Single back is Chubb from under center. Back to pass and rolls right into the pressure. Yuck. Highsmith with his first sack of the ball game. And that is more like the stuff that we have come to know and expect from Madden. Not like the play-action boot that worked out so nicely earlier on this drive, and more what we look for them to do. Instead, Watson does a turnaround directly into a pass rush. You got a sense where that's coming. NFL-level quarterbacks are much better than that and are less likely than this to have that happen to them. 3rd and goal, pressure coming. He does unload to an outlet. That's going to be well short. It's going to bring out the kicker because it's Madden. 4th and goal from the 7. And yes, 3 and out from the 3-yard line. Pretty ugly. You certainly don't like that red zone offense. That's not what you want to see there. That was an opportunity for the Browns to get back in this game, and settling for a field goal here feels like, giving momentum back to the Steelers. Very unfortunate, not fully taking advantage of the big turnover that was produced in that great field position. Yeah, absolute clunker in the red zone. Not what you want to see. So, 10-6 here on the ball game. 12-17 in the half. And this kickoff is going to be returned out to the 30. Rick saying it's not over till we attempt a 70-yard field goal. Unfortunately, it's a laughable prospect, and yet we've seen it in the game, and that we really never should have seen it, because that's just such a silly decision unless there's a second or two left on the clock at either the end of the first half or the end of the game. Otherwise, do not kick 70-yard field goals or even attempt them. They're stupid. Second and 5. Kenny Pickett under center. Najee Harris gets the fake, and that to a tight end out to the outside who steps out of bounds. Yeah, Wendell. Wendell doesn't like Rick giving the ideas to Madden. Yeah, we don't want Madden doing that to us again. So we'll keep that on the DL. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Little pistol look, and Najee Harris with the carry, and Foskey in on the tackle quickly. 2nd and 8. Pressure coming, and he unloads out to the outside. That is going to be complete, as the defender just couldn't get there in time. And a first down for the Steelers now across midfield from the Browns 42. Just about to cross the 10-minute mark here in the first half. Or 10 minutes remaining, that is. Now 9.5. 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard quick pass out to the outside. We'll hand off to Najee Harris, and he's going to be met by a bevy of Browns who take him down very quickly. Only a yard or two on that pickup. 3rd and 6. From under center, 4-man rush. Pressure is coming. He does unload to his outlet, who was kind of giving him an opportunity over the middle. That is Johnson on the reception. And that will be good for a first down for the Steelers. Yeah, Kenny Pickett has been very good in this game so far for the Steelers. He has hit a lot of targets. He's only been really had like 1 or 2 errant throws in the game. a few throwaways kind of constitute his entire incompletion roster on the day. As that one should have been picked. Taki had it hit him right in the hands, just couldn't come away with it. That was an ugly throw. Speaking of ugly throws and incompletions that were on Kenny Pickett, that one was probably about his second or third of the ball game that were on him. Everything else was throwing it away. So 3rd and 13 here from the 32. Back to pass. Pressure in his face, setting up a screen. He does unload it, but the defense had that read very nicely. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 17. Nicely done there to just read it and scrape down the line and get to the receiver very quickly to prevent that screen from doing any damage. 4th and 17, 7:20 left in the half. Kick is up. The kick is good, so that'll make it a 13-6 ball game. That was a good stop. Absolutely liked that stop. Definitely needed, as a touchdown there felt like it was pretty damaging after the woeful effort from the goal line on offense. All right, so Browns are going to take over from the 25. Back to pass, 4-man rush throw to the outside, has his man. And that one is going to be a much-needed first down. Quentin Johnson, the receiver. That little comeback route out to the outside, you can see him, that little comeback to the perimeter, just threw it as he was breaking. And a nice play there from Johnson to come away with that catch. So 1st and 10 from the 42, 6:43 in the half. Tight bunch formation out to the left. A handoff here to Nick Chubb, takes on 2 tacklers, bowls one over, but the other one gets him down. 3-yard pickup. Fake the handoff and a boot out to the outside, and that was just an ugly throw. He had a man out there, but a little miscommunication between quarterback and receiver on that one, and it goes out of bounds rather than being caught. And that one to the other team luckily dropped to bring up a 4th down, as Watson has struggled in this game. He's been kind of off. He's had some good throws, but then other ones just, either to the wrong team. Fortunate to have none of them actually picked off. Two dropped would-be interceptions in this game. But then, just some errant throws and some, questionable decision-making from Watson has not been great. Meanwhile, Kenny Pickett has been very good. 4-man rush, and there's going to be the sack as Foskey gets home on that one. His first sack of the ball game. And that was a great one out on the outside. Nice bend to get around the edge. As you're going to see it here, he gets that really underneath it and just a nice little shove-off move to get the blocker kind of off balance with that little rip. And then he's able to get home to Kenny Pickett. And then a nice sack, 2nd and 16. 4-man rush from his own end zone, and he throws it out to the outside. Does Kenny Pickett, now 15 of 20 on the day. Freiermuth on the reception, his first for only 3 yards. 3rd and 13. 4-man rush, pressure's coming, and that almost got home, but he is able to get it out to Freiermuth on that one, and Freiermuth extends to pick up a first down. Looks a bit like a generous spot to me, but they do give him a first down on that. Yeah, Foskey really has been very good. Been very impressed with Foskey in our sim. So 4:30 here left in the half. Kenny Pickett, handoff, Najee Harris, nice tackle there, right up the gut, just coming off of a blocker. Was Hargrave, who made a really great tackle here. Look, he's just engaged in the block, pushes off the block, and then finds his way to Najee Harris to make a really good tackle. That's how you do it, just refusing to be moved. And that's why Hargrave would be a very good pickup for these Browns. And there's a lot of speculation, a lot of smoke there that the Browns are going to try pretty hard to get him in free agency. So, that much of our simulated offseason may potentially actually come true in real life. We'll see. 3rd and 4. This 4-man rush. One man was coming free, but again, cool under pressure is Kenny Pickett. He just finds a man downfield in time and unloads before the pressure could get there. As Kevin Stefanski and Tomlin both look on. 1st and 10 from the 36. Handoff goes to Najee Harris. Najee Harris gets through one tackler and then tackled after a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6. Hargrave in on that tackle as well. Fake to goes to Najee Harris. Back to pass. Kenny Pickett goes to the outlet, which is Najee Harris. And Najee's got enough for the 1st down. So the Steelers are knocking on the door of Browns territory here, right at midfield, and they're going to come to the 2-minute warning, trying to roll out those 2 minutes and punch it into the end zone at the expiration of those 2 minutes is their plan here, and the Browns need to find a way to prevent that, because going into half with another touchdown for the Steelers would be not what you want here. Now a deep pass out to the perimeter, but he was out of bounds, was Johnson. That one was almost very dangerous, but instead a 2nd and 10 as he just couldn't keep his feet in bounds. Pressure coming, setting up the screen. Najee Harris has it, but well read from the defense again as they were able to pressure that to the outside, and they're going to lose some yards there on that screen pass. Tomlin doing some coaching there from the sideline. 3rd and 13. Minute 30 left in the half. Browns showing a blitz look, but they're going to drop out of it. 4-man rush. And unloading downfield. Got a man, but he dropped it. It was Johnson who just had it in his hands, and he was plenty open. Probably could have had a touchdown out of that. Instead, the defense is able to force a punt here on the back of a dropped, beautiful throw. Very fortunate is the Browns defense, and the offense is going to come out and have a crack at potentially putting up some points before half, and that's a huge turn of events here, as the Steelers, by all rights, should have scored here, but instead, a minute 17 left in the half, and the Browns with a chance to get some points on the board. That one, affected by the pressure, was Watson, threw it short and into the ground. 2nd and 10. Does stop the clock, though, with a minute and 14. 4-man rush. Plenty of time. Unloading deep. He's got a man back there, but unable to come up with that catch is the rookie, Quentin Johnston. And that one goes incomplete as well. 3rd and 10, a minute and 8. Still on their 20-yard line. Now a handoff to the rookie. Or excuse me, that was... I saw a 4 in there. I didn't see the star, though, so I don't think it was Nick Chubb. Not sure who it would have been. Unless maybe that was the inexplicable Tony Fields play, because he has randomly been showing up on offense and getting the ball, which we're not sure why he's been doing that. Yeah, Rick, that is true. Very, very realistic that that Bates and or Hargrave could both be Browns out of this free agency. We'll see how it works out. Would certainly love to have either or both would be great. It's a big sack here as Miles gets involved. his first of the ball game. And finally, he's been very quiet in this ball game till now, but Myles Garrett with a huge sack, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 22 with 45 seconds left in the half. Yeah, they really did get lucky on that 504, no doubt. On that last drive, just the drop from Johnson. He doesn't drop very many either. He's got good hands. So it was a beautiful pass, just a very ugly drop from Johnson as he had all kinds of space as he had several steps on the defender. Back to pass. Kenny Pickett now unloading deep. He's got a man, and that one's going to be jarred loose. 3rd and 22, 8 seconds in the half. 4-man rush coming. And he's just going to throw this. Oh, I thought he was throwing it out of bounds, but instead he did have a receiver there. That's Freiermuth, but it's going to bring up a 4th down with only 1 second left. So, after the obligatory punt, would expect that we'll see these teams head into their respective locker rooms. As 1 second, unless there's some kind of fireworks on this punt return, 1 second is probably going to be only enough to see this punt travel downfield. And sure enough, the 000's in the half as the ball wound up in the end zone there. So that'll take us to halftime. And as you can see there, score 13-6. It's been really just a possession battle with the Steelers having the ball almost at a 2-to-1 clip. And that has been a big difference in this game, as you saw almost double the snaps on offense for the Steelers. Yes, Wendell would love to see Nick Chubb get going. He's had flashes in this game. We really, they just gotta be consistent with that and keep pounding the rock with Nick Chubb. He's so good. Here he is, Nick Chubb. He's gonna fight through some tacklers and pick up 4. Trips to the right. Nick Chubb on the left hip, bringing into that tight bunch. They're gonna pass out of it, out to the outside. He's got a man. And Cooper on the reception is going to get a 1st down. His 5th reception of the ballgame, now 52 yards for him. A nice body control there from Cooper to keep his feet in bounds on that catch and then secure it all the way in. The interesting animation, though, not sure he's going to be able to just magically draw his feet in underneath him like that. That was kind of odd. Didn't look right. Tight bunch formation out of the left. Single back is Chubb from under center. Little boot pass action here. And a catch, but they're saying he was out of bounds. 2nd and 10 here. Hand off to Chubb. Big hole to work with. Working through some tacklers. And 5 yards on the pickup. 3rd and 5. Now back to pass. Surveying. He's got a man over the middle. That is the rookie. And Johnston does pick up a 1st down on that little drag route as an outlet route for Watson. Nicely done to check back down, but still pick up a 1st down. Little pistol look here for the Browns. Nick Chubb with the fake, and then a ball is out. No one there for the Browns, and Hayward with the ball, and he is going to score. No one's going to catch him. Nick Chubb tries, but not enough. Cameron Hayward with the defensive touchdown on the scoop and score, as Watson just didn't feel the pressure coming, had the ball jarred loose on the backside. That was Highsmith with the strip sack. Cameron Hayward right there to pick the ball up. And a ugly defensive touchdown Oh, really nice defensive touchdown if you're a Steelers fan, but ugly for the Browns, as that one has now put the Steelers in the catbird seat here. They are very much in control of this ball game with a 20-6 scoreline. And that is the last thing you wanted to have happen if you're the Browns. That kick will go through the back of the end zone. And so Watson's going to have to do better than that. And he's going to come back out here and try to put that last ugly drive behind him. Yeah, that's true. He's really good at sensing pressure, and he's one of the best in the game at scrambling out of pressure and avoiding it. So yeah, I agree, Wendell. I don't think that Watson is very likely to have a lot of that stuff happen to him. He's too good for it. It's a nice run up the middle there from Chubb, brings up a 3rd and 4. Back to pass. Watson scrambling now, unloading downfield, and then more black jerseys in the area than white ones. As yet another bad throw from Watson, and the Browns' woes continue. Punt unit comes out, 4th and 4. So Bojorquez puts it down where there it is fair caught at the 29-yard line, and that's where Kenny Pickett's going to have the ball to start the Steelers' next drive. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Well, this one certainly has not been going our way so far for the Browns. Certainly got a lot of work to do if they're going to get back into this ball game. You see that momentum meter is completely pinned the other way. A little play action there to Nagy, and then the ball right back to him on the little dump off, and that's going to pick up all but a few inches on first down, 2nd and inches now. But appreciate everybody being on. Certainly have enjoyed having you here, even whether or not the game has gone well for the Browns. Always enjoy everyone that comes in to join us live for these games, and certainly enjoy having people come after the fact and watch these games on our channel. We certainly appreciate you all. Certainly appreciate those that would like to subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. Those who have subscribed, we very much appreciate the support. And those who haven't, if you'd like to throw a subscription our way, we would very much appreciate that, as we are getting dangerously close now to that 1,000 subscribers mark, which is the point at which we can monetize, and that is a big deal. So we very much appreciate all the support and all of you out there that enjoy the content that we put out on YouTube. So thank you so much. A little handoff to Najee Harris is well defended. He goes backwards for a yard, 2nd and 11. If you haven't joined us on our Discord as well, that we very much love to have you there as well. What a wild hold there in the middle as he was being held backwards. No call, but a sack from Myles Garrett anyway. That was interesting. You're going to see on this pass rush, you're not going to see it. Unfortunately, the replay doesn't have it. And I didn't catch who it was. It may have been Hargrave. But he was bent backwards. He was held so badly, and no call for the holding. But anyway, so if you haven't joined our Discord and would like to talk about the Browns or football in general or anything else sports related, we'd love to have you on our Discord. Links to that is in the description of our video. You can vote on our channel about things like off-season roster moves, which we had a vote earlier on that. That's how we have the free agents signings that we do, is because we put it to the good people here at Nagy on Sports as to who we'd like to go with for our roster moves in the off season. But we also talk about everything in between sims, and you can get reliably notified of when to expect the games to come to YouTube as we post that in our Discord. And their notification system tends to be a lot better than YouTube's. It's a big hole out to the outside for Nick Chubb, and he does break through some tacklers. Interesting choice of where he went to cut back to the inside there. Looked like he had more space to work with the outside, but still a lot of damage done, and that's the kind of play that the Browns desperately need if they're going to get back in this ball game. Yes, a touchdown here. Touchdown here is paramount. They have to end this drive with 7. That is really not optional at this point in the ball game. Now trips formation, a little bunch to the right. Nick Chubb is in the zone. He's going to get the ball. He fights through the tackle of Cameron Hayward, which is tough to do, but he ends up going backwards for a yard. The second man to get there, the free agent Murphy Bunting, comes and makes the tackle on Nick Chubb. Unfortunately, that will take him out of the zone as he was tackled for a loss. Yeah, no, it's true, Wendell. They have freely admitted they don't call holds on when they're against Myles Garrett because they figure he'll get to the quarterback and even with holding, which is just crazy to me that they're going to admit that they're not even going to follow their own rules. As that run was nice from Nick Chubb and picks up 6, 3rd and 5. Watson throws downfield, had Cooper. Looked like he dropped it late. Probably should have had that. Interesting that he was not able to secure that catch. And so the Browns will have to punt. 7:21 remaining in the third quarter. But yeah, the holding on Myles is blatant and constant. And that's a lot like what it looks like, what we saw earlier, where the defensive tackle got bent backwards on the pass rush because of the hold that was on him, but just no call. And that is a very unfortunate reality that Myles Garrett in particular has to deal with more so than many others in the NFL. Held to a unique standard all his own. But he is in the zone here for us in the sim, and that is important. 2nd and 3. Myles Garrett reads it beautifully and gets a sack as he was not fooled by the play action. At first you saw him correct to the running back, realized he doesn't have it, see him make the change, and swaps back to Pickett and is just able to correct his line in time very quickly to get back to Kenny Pickett in a huge, huge sack. And he is so, so good, and you see a great example of it there, 3rd and 10 now. As a turnover here would be massive, especially if we could score a touchdown out of it. Now bringing a 4th man out to the right side. Myles Garrett coming. That one should have been picked. Oh, I don't know what you're doing there, JOK, but you can't use your backfield hand across the body to knock the ball down and not use the hand that's closer to it to try and intercept it. That was just very odd mechanics. I'm not sure why he was reaching with a backfield hand to just try to knock it away when he had actually great body position to try to come away with an interception. Yes, Jurasac Myles, for sure. He's been very good in the late goings of this game. As Nick Chubb goes backwards on that run, met early by Mr. Watt, the ever-present D end and threat on the edge for these Steelers. Although TJ Watt has been a little bit quiet in this game, that really one of his better plays of the ball game has been relatively nullified. 2nd and 13, reasonable hole to the outside, but only able to get it back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. Pressure coming, and Watson's just going to eat that. And there, right on cue, is TJ Watt with his first sack of the ball game. And that one's on Watson. I mean, you cannot hold on to the ball that long, and realistically, Watson's trying to he's not going to be, pump faking there. He's going to be taken off, avoiding the pressure and scrambling and still looking downfield, potentially looking to, after he escapes that first pressure, looking to still get it downfield, but potentially scrambling to escape the pocket and then take off with it if he can't find anything downfield. So Bojorquez punts yet again, and that will give the Steelers the ball on their own 27. So defense will have to step up again, as the offense just can't seem to get anything done here in this game. But having Myles Garrett in the zone of late has been a big deal and very helpful in that effort. As that one potentially could have been picked, it is dropped, but Taki looked like he had a beat on the ball, just can't quite get there in time. 2nd and 10. Can he pick it out of the pistol? 4-man rush. Myles Garrett comes up the middle, a little stunt action, but he does. Oh, the ball's out, though, and the Browns recovered. We'll see if this one stands. He may have been down. It did seem to come out pretty late, so I'm not so sure that this is going to result in a turnover. Let's take another look. Najee Harris has the ball there. Knee is down, ball's out very late. Nope, that is definitely going to be overturned, and the Steelers are going to have the ball still. They're not even going to look at that? Wow, the Browns with a huge maddening moment of their own, and finally one that goes the Browns' way, but they're going to give it right back with a terrible throw. Madden makes up for the miss with an immediate turnover. They missed the fact that it shouldn't have been a turnover, so they generated a turnover in response. Oh, yes, the swear words, indeed. Yes, all the swear words. So, Wendell, I saw a story about that, but I don't think it's actually that they're going to play together this season. I think they were just talking about if they ever were to play together, what kind of a defensive line that would look like. I think that was it came on they were Nick Bosa was on a podcast talking about, if he ever had the opportunity to play with his brother, what that would be like. But no, I don't believe they're actually going to be on the same team this year. Part of that is, what team can afford 2 Bosas on their team? You're talking about massive amounts of your cap space, in just 2 defensive linemen at that point. Really? We sent it out about 10 minutes prior to going live, and you should have gotten it. I'm not sure why you didn't. Well, welcome in anyway, Mason. Sorry that the Discord notification didn't get to you. I guess the only thing I can say is check to make sure that you've got your notifications enabled for Discord, but usually it's pretty good about getting those notifications out. So interesting it didn't get to you. So, Steelers have the ball, 1st and 10, 1:52 in the third quarter. Kenny Pickett's got a man wide open downfield, and that is a much too easy touchdown. Deontay Johnson with that touchdown, and that feels like that's probably the last nail in the coffin here, as the Browns have been absolutely anemic on offense. Defense has had moments, but unfortunately, a touchdown there is going to be very hard to overcome in this last quarter unless the Browns can find a serious spark and a lot of fireworks, as they are now about to go down 27-6. Yeah, it's odd, Mason. Don't know what to tell you there. Hopefully that gets sorted out. So, the Browns are going to take over, 1:46 in the third, a 27-6 ball game, and that momentum very, very firmly pegged all the way in the favor of the black and gold. But yes, the Browns are 3-3, and unless they can do something very impressive here, it looks like they're headed quickly to a 3-4 record, as these Steelers are looking to go 6-1, and just an absolutely dropped pick six right there. That one would have gone all the way. But that's like the 3rd or 4th dropped interception that Watson has thrown. Pressure coming. TJ Watt somehow not able to come up with a sack there. Thought for sure he had it, but somehow Watson did get it out of there, and with a lot of strength to get it way downfield, but it is out of bounds and incomplete. Yes, it is looking that way, Mason. Yeah, no, it does seem that way, Mitchell, that Madden, at least the current iteration of Madden, does not have a lot of respect for these Browns. And that is unfortunate because we all believe they can be better than this. But right now they're just not showing it, and they've been pretty hard to watch at times with some of these games. Some of them have been somewhat fluky, where it's just been crazy things that Madden does, like trying to kick a 69.5-yarder. That is, why on earth you would try to do that, I don't know. And of course that turns a game on ahead, a game that you were leading and should win. That we've seen that this season, but we've also seen games like this where just couldn't get anything going, and it's been woeful effort from the offense. Watson has been terribly off all game, and not a lot of support from his receivers, and the running game has had spurts at times. Nick Chubb has gotten going on some nice runs, but kind of too few and too far between. And the Steelers have been very, very good. Kenny Pickett's been very efficient, finding guys, taking what the defense is presenting him. And even when the defense has gotten hot with some big sacks, the Steelers have found a way to just, rebound and, be the better team. And momentum has been pretty solidly pegged the Steelers' way for the vast majority of this game, all but maybe a half of a quarter. Hey, welcome in, Kish. A long time. Glad to have you back in. He has struggled. He hasn't had a lot of really marquee games so far in this season for us. So no, it has not been. He does not have great numbers. So hopefully he'll be better for us. But we got to figure something out with him because he's been not what we would hopefully expect for the 2023 season. Yeah, he's probably right on that 1-to-1 ratio, like Phil says, about a touchdown per interception. The throw over the middle there is complete. Kenny Pickett now 29 of 41, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. So there's a lot of speculation. I'd love to have Hargrave. There's also Jesse Bates. A lot of talk about him. He'd be a great add for the Browns. Obviously, both of those guys would be more on the expensive side, but I expect AB to be aggressive. He's going to do a lot to adjust cap space to make room for some free agency signings, because I think he realizes that 2023 is a very important year for the Watson contract and the core of the team all kind of being under the contract right now, and they've got the buildings of the success they want. They've just got to put it all together. So this free agency in particular is going to be a very important one to make sure that they round out that success by completing the roster and shoring up those weaknesses that have bit them at times. D-tackle is definitely one of those areas we expect them to do something about, probably in free agency. The safety potentially could be a free agent signing. Juan Thornhill is another guy that I'm certainly have some interest in. Gardner Johnson is another guy that I certainly have interest in. That would be more of a nickel signing, and you can pay him accordingly. But that's that frees up Newsome to go back to the outside, especially since Greedy Williams is not likely to be back. So that gives you really more depth out on the edge, or out on the outside again, and brings in a strong nickel corner who you could certainly go out and get. So I mean, there are guys that definitely would be excited to see the Browns sign, I think you very well could see two and a half splash signings in this free agency. So we'll see. Hey, welcome in, Marlo. Long time. Yes, I do think Jerome Ford is going to be a big part of what the Browns want to do. He's all set up to take over the role of what Kareem Hunt was providing this team. I think he's going to be very good in that role. Second and goal here, easy touchdown. And again, Steelers just having their way. Deontay Johnson scores that touchdown. I believe that's his second of the ball game. And Browns are just getting curb stomped here. Yeah, Mason, it's very possible we could be in a full rebuild if Watson doesn't return to form, but I expect him to return to form, honestly. I think having a full offseason and a full preseason and really a full season to work with should do a lot for him. And I expect good things out of him. I think he's going to be very, very good for the Browns. I think he is an elite quarterback, and I think he's going to get back to that. Yeah, no, makes no sense, Phil. I absolutely agree. This is absolutely insane that this is the way this ball game is turning out, but this is what it is. I mean, it's been an ugly, ugly game. The Browns have really done it to themselves. Just a woeful effort on offense. Deshaun Watson has been bad, and it's not what you want to see. By comparison, the Steelers' offense has been very efficient and getting the job done when they needed it. Just throw out to the outside to the rookie. Johnston has been a bit of a bright spot in this offense, but hasn't done a ton today. Only 3 receptions for 38. Njoku with a nice catch does shake off a tackler going down the sideline, picks up 8, 2nd and 2. I appreciate that, Mitchell. Thank you. Do my best. Phil has got a real talent for it. I just try to do the best I can when I have to fill in. I feel I'm a little better with the color action, as that's kind of more my ballpark, if you will, where I'm a little more comfortable. But on the other hand, I do the best I can when I fill in for these play-by-play role. 2nd and 10, back to pass, and Watson is going on low deep. He's got a man Cooper, but he did not get his feet in. That'll be out of bounds, and a 3rd and 10 here. So Marlowe, he's not bad. He's rated a 90 in Madden, yet he plays bad, and we don't understand why. He has poor decisions, poor throws, plays. I mean, it's been flip-flopped here, where Kenny Pickett's a 71 overall, Watson is a 90 overall, and they've been playing like those are reversed. It's a beautifully open David Bell for a touchdown. Finally, the Browns get into the end zone in this ball game. It is much too little, much too late, but at least something went right, and that was actually a pretty play. So at least they put something to have on the highlight reel to watch after this game, so the Browns fans don't have to suffer with absolutely nothing to go back and be appreciative of, because it's been mostly ugly for the rest of this ball game, as the Browns, for some reason, are going to come out and try an onside kick, because that won't help. Yes, I agree, Kishan. And I know Miami has already very much said they're out on Lamar, but I don't believe that for a minute. In fact, I don't believe any of the teams that have gone out of their way to say that they're out on Lamar. Lamar's too good. He's absolutely a franchise quarterback. I mean, he is a big risk, in terms of the injury history, and you're going to have to consider that. But you can also get that big risk for 2 first-rounders instead of 3. Yeah, you got to pay him what he wants to be paid, and that is risky if he gets injured, especially with the cap hit. It's like $230 million dead money if for whatever reason in the first year of that contract, with all that guaranteed, if he were to be out of football for some reason, he got injured and out of football, the dead money on that is massive. That's all but like $5 million of the actual cap. So you've got $5 million to field a team at that point with that kind of dead money. So I understand the risk. I understand why some teams are just wide open. Deontay Johnson out to the outside there. Kenny Pickett just throwing dimes downfield. 1st and goal now for the Steelers. But I understand the risk. But on the other hand, there's a reason why Deshaun Watson got the contract he did. There's a reason why you go out and pay a franchise quarterback and take risks like that, because at the end of the day, if that risk pays off and you end up with a franchise quarterback and the injuries do not show up in the case of Lamar Jackson, if he is able to avoid the injuries and you get the level of production you expect out of an elite quarterback like that, it's worth that kind of a risk. And so I expect those teams to very much be in the game for the services of Lamar. They just can't admit it because, for example, Miami has Tua, and you can't go crawling back to Tua after you've made it very clear that you want Lamar. It's the same reason why all the Baker stuff happened for the Browns. But the Browns, I don't think were once they made that public, they were probably moving on from Baker anyway, because at that point you almost have to. So it's all politic and it's complicated, but I think that's kind of what's going on there. I don't see it as this whole. There's a lot of talk about is it collusion? I don't buy that narrative. I don't think that's really what's going on. I think it's just a lot of there is quite a bit of risk, and then there's also the teams are still going to stomach that risk for the opportunity to have a franchise guy come in and win a lot of football games for them, because that's what'll happen. Throw over the middle to the Chief for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Well, this hasn't been the most enjoyable game for Browns fans, as the Steelers have absolutely dominated these Browns throughout the game. But certainly appreciate everyone being on with us here at Nagy Nation. Nagy on Sports appreciate your patronage. And Phil and I both very much appreciate the likes and the subscribes as we are making our push to 1,000 and getting very, very close. 3-yard pickup out to the outside there. 2nd and 7. Watson back to pass. Over the middle. Got his man. I believe that was Cooper, but I can't be sure because I never saw the number. Watson throws back across his body, again, to more Steelers than Browns. Lucky that one ended up on the turf instead. Probably sometime this weekend, Marlo, would be what I'd expect for the next game. Possibly Saturday or possibly tomorrow, if Phil is available. Yeah, to get the taste of this ugliness out of our mouths quickly, because this has been very ugly. Oh, yikes. DPJ gets contorted on that tackle, absolutely twisted in the air, and the Browns are going to go for it on 4th and 10. Not able to come up with the catch, though, although he almost had it. And that just overthrown. And it's like the receiver with David Bell kind of gave up on that. Interesting. And so Steelers will take over on downs. Yeah, so Wendell, he was given permission to go talk to the Jets. Obviously, the Jets have had a tough time of it, but seemingly they've got a ready-made roster for a quarterback to come in. They had put all their eggs in the Zach Wilson basket. That did not pay off for them. But if they can get an established quarterback in that roster, you feel like they might very well have some success. And I think Rodgers recognizes that. That's why he's talking to them. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up playing for the Jets, as there has been a lot of contention between him and the front office there in Green Bay, and that, like I said, it would not surprise me to see those two entities, part ways. As that mercifully will bring the final tick of the ball game and the embarrassment for the Browns is finally over here in Pittsburgh, as Kenny Pickett is the winning quarterback with a 37 points to his tally, a 37-13 final. As you can see the numbers there, just really bad effort there from the offense in particular for the Browns, and just nothing seemingly going their way in that one, as very early on they struggled, especially on offense, and it's written right there for you, just in the quick stats for Deshaun. Only 198 yards, 1 touchdown, and a 50% completion rate. The Steelers really dominated that game start to finish, as you can see there by the score comparison. And by comparison, Kenny Pickett was 70.8% completion rate for 340 yards and 3 touchdowns. And just in that single stat line, I think you know enough to understand why this one ended up 37-13 with a very, very ugly game for the Browns. And yes, Wendell, thankfully this one is finally over. So we're going to move on from this one, and hopefully Phil and I can hopefully bring a win tomorrow to the channel, because this has been really ugly. So anyway, we'll appreciate everyone being on with us. Unfortunately, this one did not go our way, but we'll get out of here. Unfortunately, having to say go Steelers. Yuck. But as always, go Browns!